Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Hood. I've worn a lot of different hats in my life that have helped me develop a full range of strategies and actionable steps that I've used to help my clients make a strategic impact, both personally and professionally, to have better than what life has been giving them. On this podcast, we have conversations that's real talk, marriage, divorce, money, and legacy. And today, we have a special guest joining us, Miss Sheryl Mays. Hey, Sheryl, glad that you're here and welcome.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Tanya.
You are so welcome. But before we begin, I have got to introduce you to everybody. Sheryl is a native of Buffalo, New York. She is certified in several modalities to help others and empower them to walk into their impossibilities. She realized everyone has a dream and only some move forward to make it happen. She started Rise and Shine consulting and coaching firm to help people accomplish their goals in business and personally using proven methods that allow them to take account of their results and make them a reality. Sheryl is a contributing writer for Entrepreneur and Customer Think magazines, founder of Affirm Your Truth, the Affirmation Movement, podcast host of the Customer's Tea, and founder of Master the Sale Academy, an e-learning customer service training program. Sheryl, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Would you like to share a little more about yourself with the audience?
Wow. Well, I am excited to be here. Whenever anybody reads your bio, you sit back and go, wow, is that me? It's so, you just don't know all the things that you're doing until it actually happens and it plays out. And I think that's how it works for me. Right? It plays out. I think about it and it plays out. And I see it in progress. And I want other people to have that same feeling because we can all do whatever it is that we want to do. I have a friend that says lots of possible.
I agree with that statement also because helping people get to their possible is what you do. Is that what inspires you? Tell us a little more. What is exactly inspiring you to do all the various things that you're doing? Because your bio is deep. I only shared a snippet, but there's so much more to the magnitude of who you are.
For me, Tanya, it's always about the next level. And it's about what's next? What's the next level that we have for us? And are we cutting ourselves too short? Are we stopping far quicker than we should? Are we giving up quicker than we should? Are we totally all in? Or are we waiting on that safety net to kick in so that I can, so I can fall back and go, okay, that didn't work, but I'm okay. And so it's that next level. And your podcast is about relationships. And I have to add in the relationship that really transformed me into being all in, where I was like, okay, no safety net. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And I am going to do that. And that was in a marriage that I had, which is so interesting that your book is about, is he the one? Because we often think, yes, that's the one. That's my soulmate. He was sent to me. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
That journey right there. So let me pause right there because I recognize that the book is Red Alert. Is he the one? The pocket guide to finding the love of your life. But like you and I both know, that did not work out so well for either one of us because he is not the one. It's you. The book is all about discovering who you are. What did you discover when you went through your process? Because you knew he was not the one. What happened next?
You know what I discovered? I discovered that I am much stronger than I thought. I discovered that I have the ability to not only bounce back, but to come back with a force to be reckoned with, where I'm not giving up on myself. I'm not giving up on my dreams, on my desires, on my goals. I'm just not giving up. I'm not giving up. And that was a part of that journey as it played out. And I saw that sometimes you do have to say, okay, I give up, right? I can't do anymore. I can't do anymore. And you have to be okay with making that decision. And when I was okay in the divorce with making that decision, then doors just automatically opened up because I was in a different headspace. I was in a different mindset where I wasn't constricted. I didn't feel like I was always in this constant battle. And when you're in a constant battle, it eliminates you from being able to see other things like opportunities and possibilities and all of those things. And so once I left there, I was able to do the next level for me, which was to start my own business, doing things that I love doing when I wake up in the morning, which is being able to see people that have looked at their goals and dreams and didn't know, how is it going to happen? Is it going to happen for me? I see other people get successful. You know, I have family and friends and they're able to do this, but here I am feeling stuck.
So let's pause right there, because that is a lot of what we need to help walk through. This podcast is a podcast about action to help people get through the phase. And there are several people that are watching that are in that stuck place. They know that where they are is not where they want to be. They know it's somewhere out there, but they can't quite get to where they need to be. And you walk through a lot of that with your clients. Can you give us some actionable step that someone can take to get out of the unstuck mode?
Absolutely. The first thing I do with my clients, and it's a simple question, but it's so hard to answer. And the first question I ask them, I say, what is it that you want? What do you want? And then I remain silent. And they're silent. Because as adults, you're not asked that question. Nobody asks you, what do you want? To whereas you can definitively say, I want this. Because we're told what we're going to do from the time we're born through our growing up, right? Through adolescent, through high school, and then in college, we're still following the plan of someone else. And then you get to be this adult and someone like me comes across and goes, what do you want? And you're like, I can tell you what I don't want.
That was me. Because I was that little girl, and the audience already knows my story, but my grandmother was the one that raised me. And when you are raised by an elder, you are taught to do what they say. So I went to the school that she said go to. That's why I'm a graduate of Howard University. Great school, great thought, great vision, and I'm glad. But that was not my journey. I'm an electrical engineer because that's what she said. Great tool, I'm maximizing the use of it, but that wasn't what I planned. So if we are in a space and a place we are fed our lives, like I was fed mine, because my first husband, he was fed to me as well. So that's how I got there. Mm-hmm. What do we do? How do we start getting to the place where they get out of their little quiet mode? How you draw them out of that so they can start thinking for themselves, move into a better direction? Give us some insight about how to pull that out. Because some people may not get the chance to meet up with you, but they still need to get that one move. Can you share?
Absolutely. Here's what you do. It's a brain dump, right? It's a brain dump. You sit down and you write down every single thing. Anything that comes into your head. I don't want you to think about how it's going to happen. I don't want you to think about when it's going to happen. I want you to just drop on a sheet of paper every single thought that you think you might want to do. Even if you say, you know what, I want to be an astronaut, just write it down. Anything that you think of that you want to do. And then after you do that, you take your list and you separate it into 3 categories. What is it that you can do on your own? What is it that you need help with? What is it that you need financial assistance to do? And you break down that list into those 3 categories. And then from there, you're going to take it and make another list. So this is a process. This is not a, hey, let's sit down and quickly answer this question, because you haven't been asked that question in, 20, 30 plus years. So it's going to be a process. And sometimes people don't like the process. You ever hear people say, work the process? This is working the process, because you have to get it narrowed down to whereas you have probably 4 to 5 in each of those categories. Something you can do on your own, something that needs assistance from outside sources, something that you need to financially expend. And from there, you will select 2 or 3 that you want to work on immediately. And then you want to write down why, right? Why these 2? Because when it gets tough and when it gets to that point where you're like, you know what, I'm ready to quit. This didn't work out the way I wanted to. You need to go back to that why so that you have the purpose. And that's what keeps you going forward.
And I'm glad you said that, because too often people are walking around in an environment not understanding why they're doing what they're doing. They're just the hamster wheel, just turning, get up, go to work, get up, go to work, get up, go to work. And if you got family, get up, go to work, do family things, get up, go to work, do the family thing. But it's nothing that's personally yours.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find yourself like that, you end up like I did after my divorce. I didn't really know who I was because I did the things that the family needed me to do, but nothing specific for Tanya. I wasn't even sure my favorite color was even my favorite color because it wasn't even displayed in my home. I chose his color. I chose what the kids like. So if you were to walk into my house at that time, Tanya wasn't seen. Little minute pieces of me was not even present. So how do we really decide what the why is? Because if you have been so focused in the hamster wheel mode, you can't find the why. And you give a quick idea about how to really get to the why so that they can function through the list that you gave them. And I love that, by the way. Thanks so much for sharing it.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to get to your why. Again, I believe in pen to paper because when you see it, it makes it real. Right? There are often things that we'll say, in our minds and we'll go, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. And if you don't do it, it doesn't mean anything because nobody knew about it because it was in your head. But when you put it to paper and you see the words written on the paper, and now you say this thing, whatever this thing is, you say this thing and it gives it life. It makes it real. And now you're connected. So now you're connected to this thing. And the more you keep it in front of you, the more you're going to move towards it because we're only moving in one of two directions. We're either running away from something or running towards something. So we're either leaving something or we're going to something. Those are the only two directions that we typically go into. And so when you're thinking about the why, right, it's the sitting back and just thinking, right? Not putting any people into your head, no kids, no spouses, no relationships. It's just you. If you could have, something that you could do for yourself, what could it be? What could it be? And you know what? It might be just as simple as, you know what? I just want to go sit out in the backyard and not hear my name for an hour. Right? It could be just that simple. Okay, so here are the steps to do that because now what you need are boundaries. So let's work on that. But you got to start at a place and then you work backwards. So you kind of re-engineer the entire situation. But it starts with first your mindset and being able to say, I'm okay to say, it's about me today. Today is about me. Not that I don't love you, but today I love me.
And I had to get there also. So my why for some of I didn't quite know where to go, but I did know fully with every fiber of my being what I no longer wanted. And then it gave me my why. I need to keep my peace. When I finally found the peace that I was looking for, the peace that I did not have in my marriage, I let that be my striving goal for a while. So if you need to have that one why, that why can be something like Sheryl was saying, sitting outside if you want to, just having that moment. For me, having a sense of peace in everything that I do, which is why I created so many different things that I start teaching and sharing with my clients, like you do with yours, which leads me to this. What led you to wanting to support and serve the way that you do? Can you tell us a little more about that?
Absolutely. There's always a bigger purpose in what we do. And so, whenever I talk to clients, and I have one that she sells candles. And so I said, well, you don't just sell candles, right? You create atmospheres, right? So we're always a part of something bigger than what we think we're doing. And so for me, it's giving people the opportunity to show that niceness and kindness that can go viral has a financial reward to it. So again, we're talking about re-engineering our method of thinking. right? Because now you're thinking about, okay, wait a second, how does this play into my business? Well, if you have customers in your business and you treat them with respect, you value them, you let them know that you appreciate them, then what's the reciprocity? Well, they come back. Now they increase their purchases with you. They tell other people, they go out and they're your brand evangelist. They say, oh my gosh, this person is so fabulous. You've got to have them do your services. Now they've brought you more customers that you didn't have to market to. Now you're increasing your referrals, you're increasing your sales, the revenue increases. So when you think about customer service, it goes far beyond just being nice on the phone. There's a strategy behind customer service. And that's what I bring to the table for my clients. So when I work with organizations, it's about training their folks. When I work with entrepreneurs, it's about training them on utilizing customer service to create an experience that's memorable for your customers, that they will do exactly what you want them to do, because you have the ability to drive their behavior. And we can do that really simply by creating just a memorable experience, one that they walk away going, oh my gosh, that was great. Even if it's just to have spoken with Tanya on the phone and she was able to solve my issues. We had some laughter along the way. She asked me questions about myself. All the while, Tanya's putting this information into the CRM system so that the next person that speaks to me has that same type of conversation. And I don't feel like I'm just a number or nobody remembers who I am, but I feel a part of the family. This is what businesses should be doing. You're talking about sustainability. And it's so interesting because I get really excited when we talk about this. So you're going to have to stop me.
So let's take a quick second, because I know your passion about this and you're about to go in. And while you're getting ready to go in, since you started walking down what you typically do, share with my audience what it is you do, because you personalize your coaching programs around elements of this. Can you go deeper into that discussion now?
Absolutely. So as I stated before, customer service, I show people how to strategize customer service. And so I open up an academy. I open up an academy where people can come in, and it is live. So it's not pre-recorded. It's not self-paced. I like live, where you can get in, you can talk to the individual. I'm the facilitator. And these courses are created to enhance every element of the business. So it's customer service related to gaining better referrals, customer service to increase the retention of your customers. It's how to effectively communicate with difficult customers, because we always have some of those. It's not if you have them, it's when you have them. And so are you prepared to be able to have that conversation and turn it around so that it's a positive conversation where they do come back, regardless as to what started this issue? And so I show people how to do this, and the results have been amazing, because I love testimonials and reviews. You know how we love to know that what we're doing actually works. And we use that for marketing, but I use it to know how to improve upon what I'm doing. Because my goal is, again, this is one of my modalities in Lean Six Sigma, is continuous improvement. Every day we get better and better and better. And how do you do that? Well, you continue doing the things that are working. You start to eliminate the things that aren't. You make your shifts where you need to, but you're always focused on bringing value to the customer, eliminating waste, making it very frictionless. And so I get the opportunity of doing that with entrepreneurs and just opening up their minds, because people have never really sat down and went through their customer's journey map. What is this customer supposed to be experiencing with you? You know it up here, right? We know it in our minds, but is that really what's happening? And so, yes, that's what I do. In addition to that, I believe in accountability. And so I do accountability coaching also for individuals that are goal seeking and looking to get to that place where they can say, I did it. I did it. And for me, it's more than checking the box. That's a victory moment. I celebrate every day. I believe we should find something every day to celebrate about.
And that's one of the things that I share because in order for us to really start moving forward, we've got to celebrate the little things. People look for some big thing that they can walk through, but it's often the small markers that help you
Mhm.
move into a direction to getting whole. And I'm appreciative of how you like to celebrate because you've also brought some things as special gifts to share with my audience for them to celebrate as well with. Can you tell us a little more about the gifts that you want to share?
Absolutely. So I believe in the words that we utilize because the words that we utilize, they carry a lot of weight, they carry a lot of emotion with them, but they are also so very powerful. And I have a movement that's the Affirm Your Truth. It's the affirmation movement because I believe in affirmations. And if you are not an affirmation user, then you definitely want to take advantage of this gift because there is empirical data that shows how affirmations work on the scientific round. For those of you that say, show me the data, it shows you how to do that. And so I have 3 journals. They are electronic journals, and you can download them. The links will be available to you in the comment section. One is for creating powerful affirmations for life. This is for yourself. We operate in 7 areas of our lives. And are you recognizing the power that you have in each of those areas? Because oftentimes we look for balance, and there is no balance. We have to be harmony. It has to be harmonious. The second one is creating powerful affirmations for entrepreneurs. I know people never thought about affirmations for your business, but just like everything else, use all of the resources that you have, those that are tangible as well as those that are intangible. But it also creates a mindset, and it sets you up to be able to know what you have going. There are, there are goal planners that are inside the strategy book for entrepreneurs because you have to really look at your cues, right? Q1 through 4, and you plan for that and you affirm to those things. And then the last one is one of my favorites. I like them all, but this one is one of my favorites, and is bonding mothers and daughters, because my daughter and I had a conversation, and now she's got her own daughter, and those dreams that we had for them when they were children. And now here's a woman looking at a woman, and she's got her own dreams. And it's like, so what do you want? Asking that question, right? What do you want? And now that I'm no longer a mom, but now I'm a grandmother, it's like, she's like, well, what do you want? Because you're not just a mom anymore. Oh, glad you noticed that. Right? Because our kids forget that we're people. So it gives you the opportunity to really have that conversation where you can now support one another as woman to woman. And so I have those 3 that are available for your audience. So I'm excited to be able to make that offer.
And I thank you for that. And I understand you're not grandma, you are glamma.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. We're still getting her there. She's only 2, so we're still trying to get her there.
But you're working through the process. And this is an element of legacy. And that's something that we share on this podcast because we often forget that the things that you do every day, the people that you're impacting every day, you are leaving a legacy. Leave the legacy that you desire. Leave the legacy that you want others to follow. And you all are going to get it. Like she said, it'll be in the comments section. And so you just heard, for all of you, get the opportunity to meet up with Miss Sheryl Mays on her website, risingandshine.com. Sheryl, I am so glad that you're here, that you've come to share and pour this information into my audience. Is there one last thing that you'd like to share with them today?
I will share this. This is the mission of the movement, the affirmation movement. And that is for every one of you. My goal is to have 1 million people be able to recite this and truly mean it. I want you to be unapologetically bold. I want you to be confident as you move beyond your fear and walk into what might seem impossible, knowing that you are enough and you are worthy of your success.
So, Sheryl, thank you so much for sharing. I am so appreciative that you have poured into my audience. And so, again, everyone, take this time now to go and take a look at Miss Sheryl Mays' website, risingandshine.com. And so, for today, if you don't remember anything else that was shared, here's the one thing we want you to know. Make certain that you realize that there's a strength within you, that you can use the different tools that have been shared today so that you can start moving in the direction that you desire. She already stated you're moving in 2 places. Be clear about where you're moving. Be clear about where you're headed, and know You do not have to do it alone. Contact Sheryl at her website, and if you want someone else to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, tanyaehood.com. There you can click under the Work For Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. But if you are going live with us on Instagram at 7 p.m. tonight, we will be there so that you can get the chance to continue this conversation or we can start a new one. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.